What is going on, everybody? We are just getting started with a little Amazon FBA Q&A. We got the TikTok live right here. We've been at it for a little bit. We're going over a topic on PPC right now. Does your budget have anything to do, in your competitor's budget, have anything to do with your PPC ads performance? No. So it has everything to do with your conversion. I say this point literally on every single one of my lives, and there's a reason for this, because it's the thing that people understand the least. If you have a product and let me finish this thought. Your PPC is not there to make you sales. PPC is not the determining factor of your product getting a sale on Amazon. The determining factor of whether your product sells, whether the customer clicks add to cart and buy, is your product and your product listing. I'm going to give you, and I'm sure a lot of people who are in the lives often are sick of hearing this analogy, but I'm going to give you the analogy on exactly what PPC ads are, GG. If I was driving down the highway, and I'm going to get to everyone's question, but this is a really important part, so I want to touch on it. If I was driving down the highway and I saw a billboard for a restaurant, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pull off, I'm going to go eat at that restaurant. Take the exit, go to the restaurant, and I look at the outside, it looks dirty. I look at the menu, the food looks gross, the inside isn't good, like doesn't look nice. It just looks like a terrible place to eat. And I decide to go somewhere else to eat. Was it the billboard's fault that I didn't eat? Was it because somebody spent more, to your point? Is it because somebody spent more on a different billboard that was a mile back on the highway that I didn't eat at that restaurant? Neither of them have to do with it. It was the restaurant's fault. It was the menu. It was the food. It was the ambiance. It was the environment. In this scenario, your Amazon PPC ads are the billboard. If somebody clicked on your ad, the ad did its job. It's almost like it's like a relay race, or is that what it is? Relay race? That's not the right word. But when you're passing on the baton. So imagine PPC is the first runner, and they go and they get to the point that they need to be at, and they hand the baton over. You get a click on your ad, PPC is now handing the baton over to the next racer or the next runner. That would be your listing, your product listing, your reviews, your images, your title, your bullet points, your A+ content, your price, even the product itself. Maybe you have a terrible differentiator. Maybe you click copy and paste on what every other seller in the market was doing, and now they're like, why would I buy this product that costs more, has less reviews, and it's the same exact thing, and I can go buy from this listing that has 600 reviews, a better price, a more optimized listing. That's why PPC is crushing it in a bad way for you, bro. Has nothing to do with the ads. It could also be that you're bidding on irrelevant keywords, but it has everything to do with the product and product listing. Okay, back to other questions. Says this guy, if I run out of my PPC budget, should I up it? Not profitable PPC yet, 50 ACOS. If you're not profitable, I would wait to become profitable before spending more money on ads. To be entirely fair, Amazon's profit is in their seller's margin. Well, no, I don't. Like, yes, Amazon makes money off of us as sellers, but find me a platform that you can go sell your products on where the company's not going. Actually, let me reframe this. Find me a marketplace where you can go sell your products where they don't take a fee of your products. eBay, Walmart, TikTok Shop, Amazon, they all take fees. It's for utilizing their platform, because if I went and created my own website, I'm not going to have the built-in customers that Walmart Online does. I'm not going to have the built-in customers that eBay or TikTok Shop or Amazon does. I have to drive that own traffic. So it almost offsets. I would have to pay more in the short term to get those sales than if I had my product. Even if I was a reseller, I went and found a bunch of items around my house. Do you think it would be easier for me to sell all of those products at a just standing outside, like let's even say a garage sale. Would it be easier for me to sell it at a garage sale where I have to go put up signs? I'm limited to the people who see the sign, are in my neighborhood, or would it be easier to list those products on eBay and have access to all of eBay's customers nationwide? So do the platforms make money from us? Yes. But it's also our job as business owners and sellers to be like, okay, I need to make sure that this product is actually profitable after my cost of goods, my FBA fees, my Amazon, my shipping, Amazon ads. Hey, brother, how can I get a trademark for my brand? Hire a trademark attorney, use the IP Accelerator program, file on the USPTO. Do you like single keyword campaigns? I don't like it. I do only for rank campaigns. If you do too many single keyword campaigns, it can get a little bit messy. That's a good analogy, not gonna lie. Appreciate you. Alkema, thank you so much for the follow. Alex, thank you for sharing the live. Task, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you as well. My boy, what up, Sheep? Do you tend to consider your sales / ads as a single transaction, or do you focus on lifetime value of a customer? Great question, Robin. It depends on the product that I'm selling. If I have something that is going to be repeat purchases, I'm more focused on lifetime value. If I have like something where people aren't going to be constantly buying, then I'm probably more focused on, sales to ads, or sales and ad sales. HF, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. New listing, should I increase budget if I run it out of stock, even if I'm not profitable? No, you shouldn't. Is it true September is the slowest month of the year? No, that's not true. I don't know where you heard that. It's all product based, Sheep. It doesn't have, there's no such thing as the slowest month of the year. If I sell a Christmas ornament, then there's going to be X amount of months that are my slowest time. If I sell a water bottle, maybe there will be a certain month or season that is my slowest time. If I sell a summer toy, of course, there's going to be a peak month and a peak season, but it's all contextual based. So to say as an entire whole, because I've gotten this question about pretty much every month of the year. Is it true March? Is it true April, May, June, July, August is the slowest month? No, it depends on the product. It could be true for your product, but not as a whole for the platform. Hey, Luke, do you send your sample to your Amazon for inspection pre-product launch? You don't send the product to Amazon for an inspection. The product stays in China and the inspection team comes in and inspects it. Robin, September is not Q4. Q4 is the last 3 months of the year, guys. September is Q3. So you have October, November, December. That's Q4. September is the end of Q3. And also see, you guys got to be careful putting these generalizations on these things. I'm going to get to that because I see another question before that, a few questions before. And they are charging the same percentage. The only difference is Amazon has traffic of hundreds of millions. Yep, that's not my point, bro. For Amazon to increase their profits, it's more convenient to increase their fee compared to increasing e-com market share. Okay, I understand. I don't disagree with that statement. But what I do disagree with is, let's look at the history. Has Amazon increased their fees? Yes. Has Amazon implemented more fees? Yes. But if we actually look at 2024, when Amazon implemented the inbound placement fee, which I've never paid, the low inventory fee, which I've never paid, and the high return rate fee, which I've never paid, all three of those fees are avoidable. They actually decreased their general FBA fees. So Yes, did they increase their revenue because they know not every seller is going to be able to avoid all three of those fees? 100%. So I'm not necessarily fully disagreeing with that statement. And I'm not even disagreeing with the fact that since I've sold on Amazon, Amazon has increased those fees. But another great point to mention is that Amazon didn't increase their fees to the point where you can't sell. And if we look at it historically, from when Amazon, let's just say from 2019 when I started selling to 2025, Amazon actually has made more money increasing their market share because their market share goes up every single year than increasing their fees. Not only that, you have to remember all the different ways that Amazon makes money. It's not just on fees. Lost, thank you for sharing the live. Good to see you, bro. Is it true Amazon takes about 7 weeks to receive and prep and get the products? I don't have Amazon prep my products, and no, it does not take 7 weeks unless you're accounting shipping time as well. Even then, 7 weeks is, I think, a little long. It takes anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks if you're unlucky for Amazon to receive and check in your inventory. If you do single keyword ranking campaign, do you turn off that same keyword in your normal exact campaign? This is where it gets a little tricky. Short answer is yes, sheep, but you have to be careful when you do this. If you have 3 keywords in a campaign, metal water bottle, insulated water bottle, and you're trying to rank on the keyword insulated water bottle, and let's say water bottle, and let's say that water bottle had the most clicks in that campaign with those 3 keywords, and it had the most sales, I would turn that campaign into my rank campaign, turn the other 2 off, because Amazon loves data. If water bottle was my top performing keyword in the campaign with 3 different keywords, and it received 70, 80, 90% of the clicks, I would not turn it off in that campaign and go start a new campaign with that keyword. The new campaign will likely not perform as well as the existing one. Rocket, thank you so much for the follow for September, though. Answered that. Thank you so much for the follow. So, his mentorship say that's why I asked. You mean like a mentee? Hey, could you please help me? I'm trying to sell on Amazon. Is asking for proof/pics. Then you have to provide it to them, JJ. My fault. I mean October. Again, I think it's contextual to the product, because we actually, in a lot of our accounts, when you have that Q4 upswing, we start to see I'll call it a pre-Q4 bump. Like on one of my accounts that does around 35 to 4,000 in top line revenue, we're in September. It's the end of Q4. Our sales have increased to 5 to 5,500 a day. So we're already starting to see an upswing leading into Q4. So if I were to compare the 3 Q4 months, yes, October may be the lowest one, but you are still generally going to see an increase from September to October in your sales. And also, when we talk about storage fees, bro, most products are going to, unless you're selling a heavier or high ticket product, your storage fees are going to be like 30 cents. And so to have the increase on your storage fees during October versus September, while you're still seeing an increase in sales, is not going to affect your margins, assuming you have an established product. Do you do creator connections or any affiliate marketing? Yes, I do affiliate marketing, but not through creator connections. So you would make a new campaign for the other 2 you were to turn off? Yes. My Amazon registration is still in the process the last 3 weeks. Is that normal? That's a little bit on the long side, but do you recommend increasing budget for that keyword rather than starting a new campaign? Well, it's not just about increasing the budget. It's about being more aggressive on your bid if you're trying to create a rank campaign for that keyword. So yeah, I would increase the budget, but I wouldn't like 10x my budget or anything like that. I would first optimize my placement, where my ad appeared on the page. And then if I was running out of budget, I would not want to run out of budget on a ranked campaign. So I would increase the budget based on the data. If I wasn't running out of budget, then no, I wouldn't increase the budget. Do you offer mentorship? I do. In the TikTok bio, the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education. Do you higher or lower your price with Q4? Great question. I test different things. There's sometimes when I don't touch the price at all, and then there's sometimes where I will increase the price because I know that conversions during Q4 are going to be significantly better. So it really just depends. A lot of things, and I think you guys maybe have noticed this in how I've been talking so far on this live, a lot of things are not a blanket answer. So like you may increase your price during Q4 to have two sellers. We sell two different products, two different categories. Where increasing my price during Q4 may not affect my conversion rate, you increasing your price during Q4 may affect your conversion rate. So it really just depends. And that's why everything should be tested as an Amazon seller. It goes as far as like people ask, what's better, coupons or lowering your price? I can't answer that because I've had products, 50 plus products on Amazon. I've had products where, let's say I sell a $10 product, just to keep the numbers simple, and I put a 10% coupon, so they get $1 off. That may not convert as if I just drop the price by $1 or vice versa. So you kind of have to test each one of these elements. What kind of business do you do? Amazon, FBA, private label. I create my own brands. I'm not a reseller. I create my own brands and sell them on Amazon. I want to start seriously, but I need help. You've come to the right place, brother. Any questions that you have, drop them in the live. I have lots of free content on my TikTok going over literally everything. And I also have the AMZ Masterclass mentorship in the TikTok bio if you wanted to have me as your personal mentor. When does Q4 start and end? Starts in October, ends in technically January, but honestly, I consider Q4 ending right before Christmas Eve because you're not going to see the increase in in traffic after. Actually, on Amazon, since Amazon has some of the fastest shipping in the world, I would put this across all products. If the product will not arrive in time for Christmas, Q4 is over for you. And when you launch on Amazon, there's a little badge on the price. So during Christmas, I want to say right after Black Friday, this starts to happen. Right under your price in big green letters, it'll say arrives before Christmas. You're still in the clear for Q4. The minute that changes from that green arrives before Christmas to the red writing arrives after Christmas, consider Q4 over for you. Prime deal strategy, yes, let's go over that. Let me answer the rest of these questions, or at least the ones that are on the screen. Feel free to keep asking questions, and then we'll go over the Prime Day strategy that I'm going to test from somebody who stopped running Prime Day promotions like 2 years ago. When testing other things besides PPC, do you also give that 7 days of test time? Time is important when you're testing, but time is not the most important metric. It's data. So let's say that I'm just, again, to keep the numbers simple, let's say that I'm bidding on only 5 targets or keywords or product targets in my PPC campaigns. And I make an optimization to test whether this or that is going to perform better. If on those 5 targets, I get 20 clicks, 20 clicks, 20 clicks, 20 clicks, 20 clicks, and nothing has improved, I don't need to wait for another 20 clicks. I already have the data on whether that change is going to do me good or not. I want to start. Seriously, can you help me? Yes, bro. Like I said, any questions that you have, drop them down below. I go line by line answering questions. If you wanted to have me as your personal mentor, I have the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. I also have lots of free content on TikTok as well for all of you to utilize. Do you do private label? I do. The best business model on Amazon without a shadow of a doubt. Mummy, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. I have all my campaigns opened in front of me. If your ACOS is 90%, what's the first thing that you would do? Bid optimizations, going into my search terms, negating anything that was irrelevant, and going into my brand brand metrics and search query performance report, seeing what my conversion was, because you don't want to just keep lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering your bids. That could take your ACOS from 90 to 70%, which is great. It's a great start. But ultimately, as you've heard me say about 1,000,000 times, user, optimizing your conversion rate is going to be the biggest key to your success with Amazon PPC ads. Lenny, thank you so much for the follow. Storage fee is 30 cents per kilogram. It's something like that. It's around there. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. How do you know your freight cost? By contacting a freight forwarder and getting quotes for your product. By the way, about my product, I'm getting closer to break even. I want to try a very low price to rank to page 1. Bro, if you're getting close to break even, I don't think you should try a very low price personally. What you can do is slightly drop the price to try to, give yourself that little boost and establish rank on page 1. But if you're at almost break even and then you significantly lower your price, you're going to get further away from break even. Khan, thank you so much for the follow. So I can get organic sales from there and up my price again. Yeah, the lowering the price temporarily is not necessarily a bad strategy, but sometimes it can be like putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm. So be weary with that. I think the things that you've been doing to get yourself to break even, sheep, are what's really, that's like putting a cast on a broken arm. That's a more viable solution because then you're going to heal that arm and so on. But you could test, like if you're priced at $39.99, drop it to like $37.99 or $36.99. See if that increases your conversion and then go from there is what I would try. Hey, brother, would love to learn. You've come to the right place, bro. Any questions that you have about selling on Amazon, drop them down below. All right, Basha, what up, Net? Yo, bro, what's this all about? Selling products on Amazon, bro, not reselling. I'm not a reseller. I create my own brands. Do you think wholesale websites are reliable, the ones that are legit? If they're legit, yeah. Everything, fresh start. Nice, man. Like I said, any questions that you have, drop them down below. It's just Bud is crazy sport. Funny enough, I don't care about it on live. Super irrelevant thing. When I'm in public and somebody calls me buddy, drives me crazy, actually. On TikTok, I don't care. But like in person, if you call me buddy, we're not friends. How do we drive traffic without ads on Amazon? By increasing your organic rank. You increase your organic rank by running ads. You can't have a successful private label brand without running PPC ads. Never thought I would say this, but kind of grateful that I'm having a hard time learning a lot right now. Just a shame I ain't making money though. I mean, you're closer to break even, bro. So that's amazing. And man, I'm telling you, that is, you are going to be an all-star seller, Sheep, because you're putting in work that I promise you, bro, 99.9% of people will not do, at least beginners. The OGs, people who understand the game, they'll do it. I can promise you, majority of the people who if they had the same scenario that you were in, would have quit. But look at you. You're closer now to break even. And then you're going to get to break even, God willing, and then you're going to turn a profit. Even if you first hit a 5% profit margin, I'm telling you, it is going to be a game changer for you because you're going to be able to scale from there. Why did your account get deactivated, Nat? They decided to deactivate my account and suspend me because my statement didn't show my name. Create a case. You could hopefully get that fixed, bro. How much you really need to start? 3 to 6K USD. You always hear people say, oh, you need 10K, 15K, 20K to do this. 100% bollocks, incorrect, not true. Did you fail your first product? If so, how did that happen? No, I did not. My very first product was successful on Amazon. Did I have failed products after that? Most certainly did. But I unfortunately don't have that cool story of, I failed 3 products and then finally I didn't give up and it was successful. Very first product, just it hit on another level. Do you think you can briefly explain what you exactly do? I get products. I do product research, find products with good market numbers. It's not just about launching any product out there. Excuse me. I have a very strict criteria that I use to find these products. And then I will go get them manufactured from a site like Alibaba, for example, brand them as my own, and then I'll send those products directly from my manufacturer to Amazon's fulfillment centers, where for a fee, they will store and pick, pack, and ship my inventory to the customer every time I get an order, and then I market those products on Amazon. What do you need to start? Amazon charges me $40 a month to be a seller. Well, you need a seller account, you need a product, and a good launch strategy. Trust me, y'all, the $40 a month that Amazon charges is really a non-factor. I don't even look at it. I don't even pay attention to it. No sales for me yet. How many reviews do you have, Action? I just found it kind of funny. Yeah, Amazon B. Amazon actually just blocked one of my listings again today, so that was fun. I'm numb to it at this point. It really doesn't make a difference to me because I have a 99% success rate going at bat with Amazon. So the 1% is when they deleted my my account and we lost $50,000 worth of inventory. To be fair, though, they didn't delete the account. My business partner did, so I don't even really blame it on Amazon. But what I did think was a trip is when we were talking to Amazon and we were explaining the situation. Amazon's like, yeah, you'd be surprised. This happens a lot. We were like, you guys don't have a system in place to fix it? Multi-billion, trillion-dollar company? They're like, nah, we don't. All right, sick. Thanks for that. So yeah, it is what it is. It was, I guess you could call it our own fault, but definitely Amazon did nothing to help us. But I don't blame Amazon for it. You got to take accountability for everything that happens to you in your life. Problem with USPTO, my application may be rejected. Brand registry is linked. Can I migrate a new trademark to my actual listing? Yes, you can. I need help. Any questions you have, bro, drop them down below. If y'all wanted to have me as your personal mentor, AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. But I also post a lot of free content, literally like 1,000. I'm probably up to like 1,200 plus videos. Actually more. I've been posting 4 videos a day recently. So that's, yeah, I'm probably closer to like 1,500 videos. Also, your boy's at 40K followers on TikTok. Makes me very happy. For those of you who don't know, I actually used to have an old TikTok account that got bananaed at 30-something thousand followers. So I had to start this journey all over again. But God's plan, we made it back. And so it's been pretty cool. I'd easily be at like 100K followers because that account was getting like 1,000 followers a week, and I had multiple viral videos. Not crying, not complaining. It's a blessing that I've been able to get back to 40K. Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate your kind words. After all, I talked more with Optimize than with my fam. I love it, bro. I love it. I want to start. Help me. Like I said, man, any questions that you have, drop them in the chat. How did your partner accidentally do that? What did you do after you deleted the account? I mean, I went to war with Amazon to the point where like we got legal counsel, and we were like, do we have a solid case to go against Amazon on this? And they said yes, like a case that you, obviously they can't make this guarantee, but a case that we truly do think that you will win. Who wants to go up against Amazon in a legal battle? They have enough money to drag it out for 4 or 5 years. We would spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the case when we can just go invest that hundreds of thousands of dollars into new products on Amazon. So I took the L, took it on the chin. How did my partner delete the account by accident? This is a good lesson for all of you. So he obviously had a regular Amazon customer or buyer account. And then we created the new account together. So technically this was my 5th Amazon account. And then we lost that one and I went back down to 4. And then we just created another one. That's the Journey to $1 Million account that you guys see on my TikTok. But so he's a little OCD, and we made a rule. He's no longer allowed to touch the Amazon account. He lost his privileges on that. But I was on vacation when this happened. I was in the Bahamas, and he deleted the buyer account. He did not delete the seller account. But because the Amazon buyer account is linked to the Amazon seller account, so if you don't know, when you create a seller account, you automatically get an Amazon buyer account where you can use that same login, go purchase products on Amazon. So when he deleted that account, and I was on vacation. So this is why, like, I don't even fully blame him. You have to take accountability, and hopefully a good lesson for all of you. You have to take accountability for everything that happens, because I got an email, but I was on vacation, where it's like, we want to confirm, or like pretty much confirming the deletion of the account. I was like, didn't make any, like, I was like, I don't know. And you have like 7 days, I think, to appeal that. He didn't realize that they were linked. I was in my own world. Although, yeah, anyways, I was in my own world. I sit in on a tour in, I think it was St. Lucia, and I get a call. He's like, bro, our Amazon account is gone. I was like, what? He's like, I can't log in. I don't have access to it. Now, because I had user permissions to that account, I actually still had access on my user permission account, but he didn't have access to the main account. So I was able to see everything still. And for a while, we were still able to operate the business. But long story short, even though it was already a long story, because both accounts were deleted, we lost everything. And then at some point, we were trying to fix the issue with Amazon. And I don't know, it was his job, because he was the one who deleted it, to talk to seller support. He probably put in like 10 hours talking to seller support. And something happened where like seller support flagged my user permissions account because of something that he said. And then I lost access, and then the account was gone. And then all the inventory, 50 grand worth of inventory, was on that account. We, at some point, were just fighting to be like, hey, we want our inventory back. I made a video on TikTok about it. It got like 50,000 views. And I do know that like Amazon watches my content, like verified TikTok accounts of Amazon have commented on my videos before. And right after that video gets like, maybe it was like 50 or 70,000 views or something. Right after that, we get a pallet of like 40 or 50 units of our product. And we're like, oh, they're finally going to send it back. Never sent anything past that. We got 1 pallet worth of products and nothing else. So moral of the story, don't do that. What happened to the inventory? I answered that. Could you have sold it if he didn't delete it? Yes, we were crushing it. We were doing like 20 plus K a month on that account. So not only did we lose the inventory, you have pretty much a year of lost sales. So like even assuming no growth, $240,000 in revenue, along with $50,000 worth of inventory, probably like a $300,000 hit. That's why I kind of internally laugh when I hear about like little problems and people wanting to give up. It's like, okay, bro, like you're not really practicing resilience too much. How much do you think you've spent on all your combined launches? Like on just the launches, I mean, if we go based on the average, probably like 4K to launch a product. Let's call it 50 products. We'll add a little bit onto this, like $250,000. Free, thank you so much for the follow. How you get your account banned? I just told the story. Come back to the program after a little setback. Donate 15K worth of product. Come on, tax season. Hey, let's go. True. Couldn't you make a new listing under one of your accounts? Just reorder. Still good product. Yes, and we will, but we kind of just decided we're going to go launch some fresh new products. Here's another example to all the naysayers, which I don't think anyone in this live. There are so many products on Amazon that you could go launch successfully that we had 3 products, but really 2 of them were like very successful. One of them we were looking to discontinue. I actually despise that product with all my heart to this day. But we were just like, let's start fresh. Let's go into some different markets. We kind of did a little bit of a pivot, but yes, we could have, but also we were brand registered on that account. And so we actually would have had to be on that account to give access for somebody else to sell on that account. So it was a little bit of a weird scenario. To be honest, no one is to blame on this. This is just classic Amazon. I mean, to be honest, bro, deleting the account, I do agree, classic Amazon. I don't blame him for anything. I went back into business with the guy. We started the new account together. Like that's my dog. Very interesting story how him and I became business partners though, because I'll explain that in a sec, but yeah, he deleted the account, but we work really well together. So I do blame Amazon a bit for not having it just was so wild to me that they were like, yeah, this is a common thing, but we don't have anything to fix it. Lesson learned, never go on vacation. No, lesson learned, always go on vacation. We actually, like, for reasons that are more internal that I won't discuss, I literally was just on a call with him last Thursday because we do weekly calls just to kind of go over certain things. And him and I were talking about, like, in a very weird way, once we get these new products like more established, it's going to end up being a positive. Like God's plan, everything happens for a reason. So, yo, Luke, what up? But the inventory doesn't just disappear. They just claim it for themselves. Probably. I think that it probably ended up on those, what do you call it? Like where people can buy pallets. And so, yeah, Amazon probably sold it. That's why, like I said, we wouldn't have won a legal dispute with Amazon for shutting the account down, but for taking our inventory. Like, and again, from legal counsel that we got, we had a very clear case to win. What up, Slimmy? Bro, 3,700 isn't much. I make that every month. Bro, do you know how to read? This is 3.7 mil, dog. What are you saying? That was funny. It's all right, brother. We all only just learned how to read numbers in first grade. It's not like everybody in the world knows how to read commas and numbers. It's all good. Honest mistake. Glad you went live. Someone with your name keeps DMing me. Yes, y'all be careful. I've made a lot of videos about this. I've talked about it on a lot of lives. It's literally in my profile, guys. I will never DM you first. And as much as I appreciate all of you, I will also never follow you on social media. So if you ever think like, man, Luke just followed me, this is sick. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And if you ever get a DM from me, like there are people who have questions in my TikTok comments, and I'll be like, DM me, because even if somebody's like, can you message me? No, you message me so that you know that you're messaging the real account. I've gone 0 sales past 4 days after Amazon deleted my variation listing. I think it messed with something. I don't think it's the main image I sent you yesterday. So let me send me the super URL of your product, just so I can take a look at it. Not a regular URL, a super URL, because there's something that I want to check. You're right about that. Past 2 weeks, only done product research, have a listing of around 40 products, all tiered at S, A, B, C levels. Bro, I hope you're not using a software to give you those levels. I hope that that's your own assessment, because don't rely on a software to rate a product, guys. This is kind of like the Operation Ecom dude who uses Jungle Scout, and his software tells him that this is a good product with high demand and low competition. I don't care unless Amazon themselves, actually, no, I wouldn't even trust that. I was going to say, unless Amazon themselves came out with a software that tiered products, their tier list wouldn't be based on a certain criteria. So I still wouldn't trust that software to tell me whether a product is good or not. Is it easy to allow a second seller account of mine to sell a private label item? Is it easy to allow a second seller account of mine to sell a private label item? Yes. Got liquidated? Yeah, 100%. I was at 20K a month before getting hit with that utility patent. Gotta stay resilient. That's real. That is a rough one, true. 20K a month is amazing, bro. Absolute W. The cool thing is, if you were able to do it once, it's a repeatable system, so you can do it again. What year was this? Have they improved systems for situations like this? No, heck no. It was the end of, it was December 2023. We dealt with it all throughout 2024, and here we are in 2025. No, they have not done anything to fix this. Pro makes 4K a month. Hey, 4K a month is noble, especially if you don't live in a state like California or New York. You're doing great. But yeah, I think it's funny that he thought I was flexing $3,700. 9 Lukes just followed me. I must be special. Loss, you are very special in a good way. What up, Luke? Do you have any recommendations for beginner tips starting off FBA? Yes, there's a lot of, I mean, that's very vague, but I mean, the best advice I can give you is just start, and stick to the fundamentals. There's no like one magic piece of advice that anybody's going to give you. Like, oh, if I didn't have this one thing, I wouldn't be successful on Amazon. It's a compounding of multiple things. Good product research, proactive optimizations, good differentiator, knowing your product numbers, making sure that you have good margins, having a good launch strategy, having a good review strategy, being able to optimize your product and product listing once you actually launch. All of those things simultaneously or working in synchronicity with each other is what makes somebody successful. Because if you have a good product but a terrible launch and review and PPC strategy, you won't be successful. If you have a terrible product and a great launch and PPC strategy, you won't be successful. If you have a great product, terrible differentiator, an okay PPC strategy, you may not be successful. What type of selling do you do? FBM, FBA, or wholesale? FBM, FBA are not business models. Those are shipping methods from Amazon. The business models are wholesale, arbitrage, private label. I do private label. I create my own brands and sell them. Is Helium 10 worth it? It's hard. And how hard is the entire manufacturing and product finding process? For me, it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to, contact multiple manufacturers. You have to look at multiple products when doing product research. Helium 10 is cool. I actually messed up today. I had a meeting with a different software company, and I accidentally scheduled the meeting under my spam email. Not that any of you care, but I ended up missing the meeting, so we had to reschedule till Monday. Very rare Luke L, but hopefully Monday I might be switching over from Helium 10 to something else, but I don't want to talk about it until it's official. Can you put in a PIN or passcode on the deleting of a buyer / seller account? No. Gring, I don't want to say the rest of that so I don't get flagged. Gring, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. And everybody in the live who has followed, who's been asking questions and all of that good stuff. I do these lives for y'all. I'm not ending the live, but I'm going to do this before the end of the live this time, because usually I do it at the end. But we're going to keep answering questions, and I'm going to make everybody listen to this. So y'all already see the value that I give on these lives. Y'all already see the value that I give on my videos. Imagine if I give all that away for free, what's inside the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship, where you'll have direct access to me to mentor you along your entire Amazon journey, along with everything else that I've built for Amazon sellers. If y'all were interested in the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education and having me as your personal mentor, you would click yes, I want to apply. You would go through this very quick questionnaire right here. Actually fill it out properly so that on your clarity / onboarding call, the team will be able to better assess your situation. Oh, hold on. I got to do a puzzle to stay on live. Hold up. I'm going to hide this next part so I don't dox my phone number and email to all of you. And if you qualify for the main mentorship, you will be taken, once you submit, you will be taken to this page here, where you're going to be able to select a date and time. You do get direct access to me along your journey. Students are able to message me. Students have a one-on-one call with me. I'm the one doing our weekly coaching calls, and then we do Q&A at the end. So it is a true mentorship. I just had somebody messaging me on IG, and they were telling me that they got burned from like a $7,000 Shopify program. And he's like, it's always where people say that you get direct access, but then it never ends up where you get direct access. Every single one of my students has messaged me. Alex, who's in the live right now, Alex has messaged me. Abubakar, who's also, I think, just joined the live. There we go. Look at that. Yes, this is true. Luke is pretty accessible. Yes, sir. My boy right here is able to message me. All of my students who are in the AMZ Masterclass have the direct access to me. I don't proxy you off, because a lot of people call it like a mentorship, but then you join. You're like, okay, I want to learn from Johnny Side Hustles. And then you join Johnny Side Hustles program and you talk to, I didn't want to sound, I didn't want to be the R word. And then you talk to not Johnny Side Hustles in the Philippines, and that's the person that you get access to and have to learn from. But you're like, wait, but I joined Johnny Side Hustles program. Why do I not get to ever talk to Johnny Side Hustles? That's just how it goes sometimes with those, but not with the AMZ Masterclass. You do get direct access to me. Do those 50 plus bought this month labels increase your conversion a little bit? Yes, they do. Where you'll really start to see the increase, not like taking you from a 5 to 15% conversion. It'll maybe take you from like a 10 to 11% or 12% conversion. That would, once you get to the 100 plus bought, yes, that is good. It's a bad day to be from the Philippines. To be fair, I was going to use a name from Pakistan, but I love my Pakistani people. Majority of the people that I hire are actually from there. Johnny Side Hustle made you the method. Yeah, I mean, and that's what does suck is there are some really good programs out there, but there are also some. I always attribute things to the 90 and 10% rule. I think this applies for people who start a business. I think this applies for people that you see on your day-to-day life. I think this accounts for people who have programs. 90%, and I just texted my cousin this the other day. I said 90% turned into 99% with inflation, but 90% of people, busters. They're not going to put in the work. They'll talk a big game, not actually deliver. They just want to coast through life. 10% of people are actually doing the thing. 10% of business owners are actually good business owners. 10% of people who have programs actually have good programs. 10% of the people that you see in your, like if you're in a room with 100 people, bet that 90% of them are what I would call busters. That's my word. What is your purpose in life? To live an amazing life. To make the most out of life. That's my purpose in life. With my family, with my friends, with my business, all of these things. I don't believe that I was born on this planet to be a robot or I don't want to sound like although I respect the guy, I don't want to sound like an Andrew Tate, but I don't believe my purpose in this life was to be caught up in this matrix. Like, oh, let me go work. I actually work a lot, so I don't mind the 40-hour work week, but like I'm not going to trade 40 hours a week of my time for the rest of my life for 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 bucks an hour. Because you get caught on the hamster wheel in that case. So I believe that the purpose, I think everybody's going to find their own purpose in life. So I'm not telling you guys what the purpose of life is. This is my own interpretation of it. But I believe my purpose of life was to live life. God did not put me on this planet to be. I actually just made a video about this 2 days ago about an accident that I got in. And kind of like open my perspective on things. But I was not put on this planet to work, live paycheck to paycheck, struggle, not be able to go do any of these things. How long have you been doing this? Almost 7 years, 6 years and some change. What are the best categories to sell? I would say it's easier to say the categories that I would avoid than the good categories, but clothes, avoid. Shoes, avoid. Fragile electronic products, avoid. Topicals, avoid. Consumables, avoid. Business owners rather work 70 hours for themselves than 40 hours working for someone else generally. That's pretty much the encapsulation of my life. I'll work more than everybody, but I'll also be able to enjoy life. I saw a post on TikTok and I loved it. It was like when you get back from a vacation and everybody is like, oh, you're back to the real world. When in reality, you were the one who experienced the real world and they're sitting in this weird matrix society. I think to help others, people who don't know where to start, helping others is a part of it. Helping others is living an optimal life. I was helped by others, so I think it would be a kind of slap in the face to all of the people who helped me if I sit here and I don't help other people. The top G, what a legend. Don't know what my mindset would be without him. Honestly, bro, like I think overall he gave a good message and probably helped a lot of people. He gets a lot of hate on the internet, but like the message overall, the main message was like provide for your family, take care of your people, be so successful that you are able to live an optimal life. So yeah, I think overall more positive. Do you consider donating to people in need? I don't consider it. I do it, but I don't really talk about that stuff because it's not for me to be put on a pedestal. I don't work. I don't do anything. I never work in my life. I'm poor. Alex, I know you're just trolling, bro. You're a hustler, man. Avoid consumables like grocery. Yes. My mindset is I don't want to be okay with mediocre. I'm working on my wealth, health, and relationships. Exactly, bro. Become the best version of you. And I love the McGregor quote, although I think bro fell off the deep end, but he did also achieve everything that he ever wanted and said that he would. But your lack of commitment is an insult to the people who believe in you. Like if you're not mentally good, if you're not physically good, if you're not financially good, how can you go and help the people who invested so much in their life to help you? Nobody wants to get a call from somebody that they love who's in a tough financial situation and be like, sorry, because I didn't do enough in life. You helped me. You made so many sacrifices in my life, but because I didn't do enough in life, I can't help you. Is this your only business? No, I have multiple businesses. I do investing, multiple Amazon businesses, TikTok shop, Shopify, also the mentorship as well. Is 8K a good amount to start to try out Amazon FBA? Yes, you don't even need to spend that full 8K. Only one sale today. We'd have to dissect the actual product and account tour. How much result would I achieve in a month? There's no guarantees in anything. I mean, it'll take you a month just to get everything started. So you're not going to make anything in a month. But it's going to be different for everybody. Some people will make 3K their first month launching. Some people will make 20K their first month launching. Some people will make 10K. Some people will make 1K. No blanket answer. But on that note, everybody, it's been a great live. We've been at it for a little over an hour now. Again, if y'all want direct access to me, make sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. Guarantee I'm winning the Powerball tonight. Hey, bro, I hope you do. Let's get it. But check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. Go check out and show some love to my last few videos. Post a lot of videos about Amazon. I appreciate all of you. Make sure that you're following the page if you're not already. Have a blessed rest of your night, and God willing, I will be live tomorrow.